Today I'm taking this 2022 Triumph Thruxton RS out for its first ride. Now guys, I've never ridden this bike before, but after today's ride, I should have a much better idea of what it's all about. Stick around to the end of the video, and I'll let you guys know if it's a purchase or a pass. I'm Chaseontwowheels. Welcome to First Rides. Another bike where honestly, you don't need to listen to music because that sounds fantastic. But if you want to, 10% discount on Cardos, links in the description, the best Bluetooth unit you can possibly listen to music in your helmets. Links in the description, goodbye. Alrighty guys, that's what it looks like and that's what it sounds like. And now, before we get riding, we get to thank the sponsor of today's video, and that is Calimoto. If you guys have never heard of Calimoto, they are the motorcyclist's best friend. You guys got to check this app out. So basically, it's a ride planning app that you can do a couple things with. One, you could plan some epic weekend ride that you can go take, or you can do like me, and you can go to rides that you've already built and planned. And as you guys can see, I have my C2 Dub first ride route planned. I can bring it up here, and then it'll show me the entire route, and it will navigate me through the route. It is so freaking cool, but here's how I use it the majority of the time. I go to a new ride, and if I'm just gonna go out and test something on a motorcycle, I'll say create a round trip. Let's just say I want to go 60 miles from my current location. My heading is north because we have good roads up there. Routing profile, twisty versus windy. I always want twisty. You hit create round trip, and let's just say you're hanging out at your house, and bro, look at that. You guys saw how fast that is. Super cool route. Look at that. Oh, I need to go check that road out. Pause the ad read for a second. But anyways, guys, as you guys can see, very quickly we'll show you a 62-mile route that'll take you an hour and 50 minutes, and it has a score of 31 on the curvy scale. I use this all the time. I love it so much. Here's what Calimoto has for you guys. If you guys want to test it out for 30 days, I'll have a link for it in the description down below. You can use my code and you can get it for 30 days for free. And then if you decide you really love it, which trust me, you will. The roads I found on this thing is fantastic. If you love it, I'll give you a discount code in the description down below as well. Thank you, Calimoto, for sponsoring this first ride. You guys go check it out. And now we get to go ride a Thruxton RS. I don't have a quad lock on this one, unfortunately, so I can't put my routing up. It's a little sad about it, but it's okay. We'll work through it. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for sitting through the ad read. You guys know I appreciate you. It allows us to make the awesome content that we do for you guys, so thank you very much. All right, Thruxton RS. All right, so guys, I am 5'10", got a 32-inch inseam, and as you can see, very bent legs on the Thruxton. Pretty low seat height overall. Let's get it cranked up because, God, this is a bike that sounds fantastic. So good, dude. Okay, let's talk about modes real quick. As you guys can see, we have a little mode button here, and if we look right here on the dash, we have rain, we have road, and we have sport. We will progress through those modes as we go throughout this video. And with all that being said, I think we head out of here, my friends. Let's go enjoy this motorcycle. Also, if you guys want to be reminded when we publish videos, we do an email newsletter every week. If you guys want to join it, we'll have a link in the description for you. Go check it out. YouTube will always do a terrible job of letting you guys know when we post stuff. So even if you're subscribed, it still has a problem. Let's see when we can go. Also, it says 21 miles to E, but we just put gas in it, so hopefully that'll update soon. All right, our time has come. Let's go. Whoa, are we in rain mode for real? That does not feel like rain mode at all. Okay, we'll call it rain mode, but that does not feel like that. All right, interesting. Oh man, I am excited to ride this bike, guys. This thing looks absolutely fantastic. I love the old school looking bike, but it has all the brand new tech. This bike is my jam, and I am so excited for it. There you go. Our gas mileage is going up now, so it just took a second. All right, guys, this is a first ride. Let's talk about the body position on the Thruxton RS, which is kind of strange. So first off, the seat is really hard and really thin. The thinness makes it really easy to get your feet on the ground, but it is not comfortable at all. I imagine by the time I get done with this first ride route, I'm gonna be ready to stand up. Next up, my lower half is a little tucked back, but overall I feel like it's relatively relaxed, which is strange because my upper half, I am leaned all the way over on these clip-on bars, so there's a little bit of a mismatch between the bottom half and the upper half, which is a little weird. My upper half is very much like in a sporty position. Also, guys, it is super windy today, so if you guys hear a little wind noise, a little added wind noise, I mean, look at that flag, dude. The wind is crazy today. I was getting blown all the way around the road earlier, so my apologies if the audio is less than what it normally is. Okay, first initial thoughts. Rain mode is way too powerful. Holy crap. That's insane. So why not just put it into road mode and make it even more insane? Also, guys, while this bike doesn't look like it, this is got the top shelf from Triumph. ABS, traction control, literally all the electronics. They are somehow hidden in this thing. But we have all the rider aids that you would expect out of a modern sport motorcycle. Whoa! Dude, this bike has so much power. It has no business having that much power. Okay, let's talk about the power plant, and it's going to be Triumph's 1200cc parallel twin. Similar engine that's in some of their other bikes, including, I believe, their Bobber and the T120. It is tuned differently on the Thruxton RS to have more high-end torque, if I understand all that correctly. Horsepower-wise, we're looking at 103, and foot-pounds of torque is around 83 foot-pounds. So some pretty strong power numbers, and you feel it. You 100% feel it. It also has a weight of 434 pounds. And I will note that 434 pounds seems lighter than what the bike actually feels like to me, like when I'm rolling it around. So I think that might be the dry weight, because rolling this bike around the dealership, it does feel a little heavy. But when I get rolling, it's not that bad, just like most motorcycles. But when you get to a stop, I think you can definitely, you can 100% feel the weight, which is kind of interesting because hopefully from y'all's position, you can tell the bike has a very thin profile, but it's kind of long. So it's a very interesting situation here on the Thruxton RS. So guys, let's talk about the steering of the bike here on the city streets, going city speeds. Now with clip-ons and in this body position, it is not going to be as agile as other bikes with like handlebars or something like that. I will say it does a pretty good job of moving its weight around, but it definitely does take some energy. Jesus Christ. I don't understand how this bike is this powerful. My God. I almost want to ride this thing like a super sport. So yeah, riding this bike around traffic, you are going to have the handlebars. Your body's bent over. You're not going to have that great visibility like you would with a bigger bike with handlebars, but it does a surprisingly good job of moving its weight around. I would say it takes about a medium amount of energy to get it moving. So not as fast as something with handlebars like up here, but it does okay. Oh, we missed the green. Dang. Oh, we're going. Oh, we're totally going. We're getting this thing leaned over. Let's go. All right, we gotta chill. Gotta chill. Gotta chill. I'm not trying to get a ticket. Oh, do I have a plate on it? I didn't check. I should have. Anyway, this power plant around the city will get you where you need to go. It's supposed to be tuned to have less low down torque and hold more of it up high, but I don't really feel that. This bike just gets going, man. Look at that. That's in road mode. I'm not even in sport mode yet, dude. It's just incredible. And when I rode the T120, you guys seem to respond really well to the T120, so there must be a lot of fans out there for it. But Triumph has a beautiful engine in this 1200cc. I mean, it's a parallel twin, and you guys probably understand at this point, parallel twins are probably my favorite engines at this point. But my God, listen to it. Such an incredible motorcycle sound. And it looks good too, dude. Oh, I really can't with this thing. It looks like I got a barn find, and it's just like perfectly like brought back to life. But this thing's a 2022 model. It's got all the updated rider aids. Like, this is such a cool combo. I really can't get over the power though. Can you guys tell how much that throws me back? Hold on, I'm gonna do it one more time. Literally, this long seat, I get thrown to the very back of it. God, dude, what a fun bike to ride around town. And you know you look like hot shit riding one of these. Everybody's like, oh snap, look at that guy on that old bike. You're like, nah, dude, brand new. All right, in town, pretty solid. It's not as maneuverable as a naked bike would be, but it handles its weight pretty well. Not a bad city bike if you can handle the back pain. All right, we got to change modes. Was it off throttle and back on? Change the mode! I'm trying to get the mode changed and it's not changing, fam. Oh, I had to pull the clutch in. That's what it is. Okay, weird. All right, guys, we got to find out how fast the 2022 Triumph Thruxton RS will go from 40 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. Thanks to our buddies over at Law Tigers, the motorcycle lawyer team you need to call if something happens to you on the road. All right, I don't know where I need to be. I definitely don't need to be in first. Okay, on your mark. This is going to be quick. Get set. And go. Oh, shit. Oh, that's 80. I didn't even see it. Woo! That didn't feel as fast as I feel like it was. Does that make sense? Like, that power was controlled the whole way, which makes me even more curious about the tuning on the bike. Because if it was tuned to be like what they say, then that power would hit way higher, but it's not. Anyway, what's the time? What's the 40 to 80 time? That's what we need to know. All right, guys, we're here on the highway, and let me just tell you, we've got the model with the fairing up front, which I think looks way cool. But this fairing's not doing jack for me with this wind. That wind is hitting me in my upper abdomen, and the seat is long. I can sit back and tuck in, but tucked in all the way, I'm still getting hit right in the visor. So I would look at that front fairing as more as an aesthetic thing and not a functional thing. And the bad thing is, with a bike like this, you don't want to modify it because it looks fantastic. Triumph did an amazing job with that. So there's no bigger screen to get. We also don't have anything like cruise control, so we are just here on the highway. So would I recommend this as a touring bike? Absolutely not. Nobody is going to be surprised by that. But engine-wise, this engine is fantastic. I've got a few low vibrations in the handlebars and in my feet, but it's that level of vibration that I wouldn't have even noticed had I not been doing a review trying to find that stuff out for you guys. I'm currently in 6th gear going 70 miles an hour at barely over 3,500 RPM, and we are on chill status. The bike has plenty of torque to get me up to speed and around traffic, so I would say for short bursts on the highway, fantastic. The only issues you're gonna have is no cruise control for long highway use and lack of wind protection. Those are really the only bad things about the highway. That and the body position you're not gonna wanna be in for a very long time, let's be honest. I think my glowing piece of information from this review is just that this 1200cc Bonneville engine is just a really special piece of work, and I appreciate Triumph for it. Oh, we're gonna get a good runway on the turn. That's awesome. We got a lot of high spec components on this bike, so I imagine when we get this thing leaned over, it should feel pretty good. I'm gonna back off a little bit so I can hit this turn with some gusto. It's an old race bike, an old cafe racer. What's it feel like? Bro, I had lower expectations than this, and it is meeting and exceeding all of them. I mean, that's the first time I've really leaned the bike over. Oh, you would not expect this bike to be this fast and to ride this well. Okay, the Showa front suspension in combination with the Öhlins rear, bro, this thing feels like when you get this thing leaned over, it actually feels like a race bike. It is locked in place. It gets so stable leaned over and just locks you in quickly. Love the suspension. And it's adjustable in the front and the rear, so if I needed to adjust it for me or a different weighted rider, I totally could. That's great. Freaking nice job with that. Let's talk about the transmission real quick. We don't have a quick shifter, if I understand correctly. Yeah, no quick shifter. Yeah. So with the transmission, I will say Triumph has it solid. The clicker, it's not really a click. It's like a hit that I get when I shift gears. It feels fantastic. It's exactly what I want on this bike. Not too much, not too little. Doesn't really upset the chassis of the bike at all. Oh, look at that. Jesus, and the brakes work. Seeing as though I didn't run into the back of the Silverado, the brakes are working fantastic. This bike sounds like the ideal of what you want a grunty motorcycle to sound like. Like in your grunty motorcycle dreams, this is what you get. But anyways, guys, transmission wise, like I said, clicking the gear sounds great, feels great. The gears seem a little bit longer, but that is based on like how you're supposed to ride this bike. You're supposed to rev it out a little more. The gearing is a little taller than on the T120, it feels like, and you can tell that. But it does lead it to make you want to ride it a little more sporty. And the more I ride this sporty, the more I realize that is what it's all about. Which is interesting. It just doesn't look like a bike that you would want to ride sporty. It looks like something you would just want to like putter around and take to, you know, a coffee shop or something. But it is supremely capable if you open it up. As far as braking goes, we have Brembos up front and in the rear, I believe. So we have top shelf braking. No surprise when it comes to a Triumph, especially one of their upper sporty tiers. The brakes feel great. The thing I like about the brakes though is, one, they're powerful enough, right? They can really get the bike stopped. But that mixed with the Brembo lever up front, you get a really controlled feel of the brakes when you're putting on them. And they don't have that initial bite. They kind of progress into a really strong braking feel, which gives me a lot of control over the brakes. And it doesn't make me, you know, stab the brakes. It allows me to get that fine tunement. Brakes that just stab instantly, like, dude, you're just asking to wash the front out. But when you have brakes that progress into that strong brake feel, you can get such just minute brake and speed changes with the lever, and it really allows you to ride really quickly and safely at the same time. Also, I will note, we are about 40 minutes into this video, and I can feel my lower back being not happy with me. There's no technical science behind this, but the body position is wearing on the old man, the old man being me. And I'm 36, so like I don't know how old that is, but like, you know, in internet age, I feel like that's skewing older. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Haha. All right, so guys, let's talk about the controls up front and the instrument cluster. Triumph's doing a lot of stuff right on this bike. So you guys are going to notice a pretty big lack of actual controls here. So on the left side, we have, what is that, 4 buttons. We have a horn, a mode button, and then we have our indicator and our info button. The info button is going to be changing all your information up front. All the buttons are pretty solid. They are a little squishy and don't have a lot of a click, but they work totally well with no problem. Then on the right side, another very simple situation. We have the, turn on the rocker, and then we have the hazard light, low seeing hazard lights on there. And then levers-wise, we have a fantastic Brembo lever on the right side, and then an adjustable lever on the clutch side. The clutch side, I do wish was a little higher quality. It just doesn't look as high quality as everything else on the bike, so I feel like that's an area for improvement. And then we have the beautiful finish of everything going on up here. This is like a matte brushed metal that I think looks fantastic. The instrument cluster is a chef's kiss. I absolutely love it. And I just think if I scoot back some, if we just look at this view, I think Triumph have really nailed this. You know, if I was going to be nitpicky, maybe we have like little TFTs here so we could have higher quality, but the OLED screen, or whatever the hell screen this is, it looks good with the needle tack and dash. I just think Triumph did a fantastic job. I've got no recommendations here. I've got my gas gauge, I've got my range, I've got my mode indicator. I see all the information I need, and I love it. I think Triumph knocked it out of the park. We don't need all the fancy, like, directional pad and all that extra crap. I don't need that on this bike. I want it to look like this, and I feel like Triumph know that, and they nailed it. I feel like I've touched on the brake lever. Now, the clutch lever, you would think with a bike that is a 1200cc that the clutch lever would be a little heavy, and I have not found that to be the case. I feel like the clutch is medium to light, actually, so that kind of surprises me. I wouldn't have expected that, but I am really happy to see that. You know, if you're gonna get stuck in traffic, even though your back and your butt are gonna be hurting like hell, at least your clutch hand will not get exhausted. I love that this bike has 5,300 miles on it. That's awesome. I would very easily see this bike being one of those bikes that somebody buys and doesn't put a lot of miles on, so I can appreciate that. To be fair, it's 2 years old, so, you know, I've seen worse. All right, so guys, with a bike this beautiful, we have got to pull off and do a little walk around. I know y'all have been looking at all that camera car footage thanks to all of our sponsors. You guys that support the companies that support us allows us to make this free content for you guys. So anytime you can, supporting our sponsors is always a massive deal. Links in the description for all of those companies. But we're gonna pull off and check this bike out with a little bit of a walk around. Oh, the poppage. We got poppage. Did that Jeep park in our spot, guys? Oh my God, again. I've got to contact this church and be like, hey, can we just rope off slot 147 and the spot in front of it and the spot behind it? Whatever. We're parking in our spot. We don't care. Oh my God, we do care. Somebody's in there. We're not going to do it. We got to go back over one. All right, we're going to go up over here. We're changing the game up, fam. Somebody's sleeping in the Jeep. All right, there we go. All right, my friends. We're adopting slot 152 today. All righty. 2022 Triumph Thruxton RS. Guys, I got to say it. This is probably in the top 3 coolest looking motorcycles on the market, in my personal opinion, of course. I love everything about it. I love the little detail. It almost looks like there's a carb on this bike, but it's not. It's fuel injected and it's liquid cooled. I love the symmetrical exhaust that come out on the side. I love the little Olin's reservoirs on the back, and it's the same gold as in the front. We got Brembo up front, and what do we got in the back? Oh, we have a non-named in the back, so who the hell knows what that is? Bro, look at the tail. Just so freaking clean. I don't know if that's stock or not, but god dog. They have just Dude, Triumph knows what's up. They know how to do what they need to do, and they have done it on this bike, and I absolutely love it. I just can't say that enough. Also, it's kind of strange. Chain is on the right side of this bike. Kind of weird. And here we have their Bonneville 1200 engine. I think it's just a classic, cool-looking engine, so good job. And also, can we all just appreciate that with all of the tech that this bike has, look how clean the bike looks. They have done such a good job of hiding all of the wires and the tech just up into what is seemingly a really small area. So, Triumph, you get the golfest of claps on this bike. So guys, what I'm going to do is pull my phone out, and I am going to record some stuff for our people over on Instagram and TikTok. If you guys are not following us over there, we're at C2Pics on Instagram and Chaseontwowheels on TikTok. If I can find my phone, which is here, I am going to record some stuff, and I'll be right back. Alrighty guys, that's it for the vertical content. You guys go follow us over there, links in the description down below. Now, we got to finish this video up. And to do that, I've got to give you guys the steering stem lock test, which I don't feel like is going to be great, and then the purchaser pass. The age-old question that we all watch these videos for. Well, you watch the videos to find out. I ride the bike to find out. I was about to say, does it not want to start in first? It does. Triumph are just weird. They always want you to have the clutch pulled in. All right, guys. Steering stem is locked. What's it gonna do? Yikes. I'm gonna say bottom 30 percentile. Is anybody surprised by that? Oh my God, that's motorcycling. Pulling out onto a road and just giving it some and getting to enjoy everything that happens when you twist the throttle. That is motorcycling. All right, my friends, we have come to that part in the video where we decide, is the 2022 Triumph Thruxton RS a purchase or a pass? Now guys, I gotta be honest, I'm having a hard time with this one. My gut is telling me to go pass, and I'll tell you why. And I'll also tell you why I refuse to allow that to happen, and this is a purchase. Okay. Why do I think it's a pass? Well, MSRP, $16,000, $17,000. I think this one used with a few miles is like right at 13 or 14. This bike is not a motorcycle I think most people are gonna want to ride for more than 2 to 3 hours. I feel like this is a 2 to 3 hour motorcycle. At that point in time, your body's not going to be feeling great and you're going to want to pull over. The seat is not comfortable. The body position is not comfortable. And with as expensive as this bike is, I don't think you would want to really rail it like on a track. And if you did, I think you're going to notice the weight of the motorcycle. Those things are all true. But this bike is one of the best looking motorcycles currently available on the market. As you guys have heard throughout this video, it sounds fantastic. It has all of the top shelf stuff. It has adjustable Showa front forks. It has Brembo brakes. It has a fantastic Brembo lever that gives you phenomenal control. It has adjustable Öhlins rear suspension. It literally, on paper, it does everything. And it's only when you ride it that you're like, it feels great really pushing it, and it looks fantastic, but is this a bike you're really gonna wanna push? So here's where I am at with the Thruxton RS. What I'm doing is I'm calling the Thruxton RS a purchase as a second motorcycle. I'm not allowing this to be a pass. That is unacceptable to me. What I think it is a purchase for a second motorcycle. I think you have your one primary bike, the bike that you put miles on, and you know, that's the bike you grab the majority of the time. The Thruxton RS is your second motorcycle that you have in the garage that when you want to have like a spunky ride, when you want to go to a bike night, this is the bike you ride because it's fantastic for the shorter period of time or the one-off occasion, but it's not your primary motorcycle. I think that's where I've landed with the Thruxton RS. But I would love to hear y'all's opinion in the comments down below. OC, thank you guys for getting to the end of the video. You guys know what to do down there. And guys, go share this video out with somebody else that you think would love this bike. And before we wrap up, big shout out to Mountain Motorsports in Roswell. They're my local dealer that I go to get a lot of these first try bikes. That's where this bike came from. That's where I'm headed back now. If you guys are looking for a brand new bike in the North Georgia area, check out Mountain Motorsports in Roswell. I'll have a link for them in the description down below. It'll say bike provided by. Guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys please go out there and ride safe. And I'll see you on the next one. Later.